Welcome, fellow lovers of the weird and strange. This is Lance, your host of Legends of the Hidden Horde, where we explore the folklore behind the mythical creatures that stalk the dark corners of our globe. A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in. Your ears make these strange journeys possible. If you enjoy the show, please hit that subscribe button, leave me a quick review, and give me a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, or X. Your support truly makes a difference. Now, let's dive into the next story. In the misty cypress groves and hammocks of the southeastern lands, long stewarded by the Seminole people, a story endures, passed in hushed tones by those entrusted with its weight. It speaks not of mere monsters from the wild, but of a profound warning woven into the fabric of community, power, and the fragile line between human and something lost. This is episode 27, The Stikini. A story drawn from Seminole oral traditions, with a deep respect for the sacred knowledge of Indigenous storytellers, medicine people, and cultural stewards who have preserved these teachings through generations of resilience, including the forced journeys of the Trail of Tears. Long ago, in a Seminole village nestled where the waters whispered secrets to the ancient trees, there lived a woman known for her quiet ways and sharp eyes. By day, she moved among her people, tending gardens, sharing meals, offering counsel that seemed wise. Her neighbors saw nothing amiss. She was one of them, bound by kinship and the rhythms of the land. Yet in the hidden chambers of her spirit, a hunger for power beyond the natural order had taken root. Through forbidden medicine, acts that twisted the sacred gifts into tools or self-gain, she began her descent. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the Everglades in blood-red hues, she would retreat to a secluded thicket. There, in a ritual both grotesque and deliberate, she expelled her own internal organs, heart, lungs, and entrails, concealing them high in the branches of a sacred cypress tree, safe from beasts and prying eyes. Hollowed and lightened, her body transformed. Feathers emerged where skin had been. Limbs elongated into powerful wings. Eyes gleamed with an unnatural piercing light. She became the Stikini, the man owl, a silent hunter gliding through the night on wings that made no sound. Her cry echoed across the swamp, not the innocent call of a great horned owl, but something laced with human torment and insatiable need. Those who heard it and answered, drawn by curiosity or misplaced courage, invited peril. The Stikini descended upon sleeping villagers, extracting their still beating hearts through their mouth with chilling precision, carrying the vital essences back to sustain her unnatural life. Each stolen heart prolonged her existence, but at the cost of her humanity. By dawn, she reclaimed her organs, resuming her human guise as if night had been but a dream. In one recounted thread of the lore, a young hunter grew suspicious after a string of unexplained deaths. He followed the unnatural cries under moonlight and discovered the hidden organs pulsing faintly in their tree-bound sanctuary. With knowledge passed from elders, perhaps aided by protective herbs and owl feathers fashioned into a special arrow, he waited for her return. As the Stikini attempted to swallow her innards before sunrise, he struck. The creature's monstrous form faltered, exposed to the first light, and the village was freed from her shadow. Yet the victory came with sorrow. The woman had once been a daughter, a sister, a neighbor. Her fall a tragedy born of isolation and unchecked ambition. Other variations enrich the mystery with underscoring cultural depth. In some tellings, particularly among Muskogee kin, from whom Seminole traditions partly descend, the Stikini, or man owl, emphasizes witches extending life by consuming hearts without the full organ vomiting ritual, focusing instead on invisible nocturnal flights. Others note telltale daytime signs, an unnatural aloofness, aversion to normal food, or animals recoiling in fear. The vulnerability of the hidden organs might involve burial in mud or jars rather than trees, and destruction methods vary, burning with salt or fire, or sunlight exposure if the reversion fails. Taboos around naming the being are potent. In certain communities, only initiated medicine people could discuss it safely, as uttering Stikini risked attracting it or triggering one's own corruption. Post-removal era stories in Oklahoma sometimes intensified, reflecting new landscapes and the traumas of displacement. These nuances highlight the living, adaptive nature of oral traditions, shaped by place, history, and the need to warn against internal threats rather than external invaders. The Stikini teaches us that the true monstrosity often wears a familiar face, born not from the wild unknown, but from the quiet choices within the human heart. Choices to wield power without accountability, to prioritize self over communal harmony. It embodies the peril of moral corrosion, how the pursuit of immortality, dominance, or forbidden knowledge can hollow one out, leaving a predator sustained only by the life it steals. In Seminole and broader Indigenous worldviews, this reflects a profound respect for balance, reciprocity with the land and people, and the dangers of severing those ties. The creature's reliance on hidden vulnerability reminds us that even darkness has limits. Community vigilance, ancestral knowledge, and ethical grounding offer paths to restoration. In our modern world, the Stikini's lessons resonate with eerie relevance. As technologies grant godlike powers, surveillance, genetic manipulation, artificial extensions of life, we risk creating our own Stikini, systems or individuals who hollow out empathy for personal or corporate gain, preying on the vitality of communities and the planet. Climate disruption, social fragmentation, and unchecked ambition echo the swamp's warnings. Hidden corruption thriving in isolation. The future implications urge vigilance. Foster cultures of transparency, cultural respect, and collective care to prevent such hollowing. By honoring Indigenous wisdom, not as relics but living guides, we might reclaim our shared humanity before the dawn exposes our own concealed frailties. That's it for today's story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast app. Give me a follow on social media. And until next time, walk gently among the cypress and keep your eyes open. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.